Good morning, cyber traders. Happy Monday, everybody. Good to see you all. Welcome everyone back, and welcome all these new traders that have joined us in the trading room. Welcome everybody. Looking forward to a nice little exciting weekend. This is the last week, right? This is the last week. Actually, you know what's so great about this week? This is probably one of the first Fridays that very rarely we have that ends at the end of the month. So it's going to probably be a really exciting month because it's going to go all the way to the end. But listen, a lot of big news came out. Silicon Valley got bought out. Somebody obviously came up. Looking forward to seeing how certain things are going to work out with that stock. Getting a couple of bank stocks are making big move. FRC is moving pretty nicely. By the way, just bring up level 4 to show you what's going on. How nice is this? Look at this. Big iceberg orders out there. Huge one at 1650. Look at that thing just ran from at 8 o'clock this morning from 1510. Nice little move in pre-market for some of you here that are watching on social media. You're like, wow, how do you guys trade pre-market? This is what it's all about. It's always nice to see that. Love, they're called weekend buyouts. So obviously a lot of the bank stocks that got beat up from it. We're going to talk a little bit about them. But before we do that, let's get prepared what's going on this week. For everyone here, remember, we got phase 3 that is starting this week. So if you're, any of the students here at Cyber Trade University, or maybe you're on social media, you're more than welcome to join us. It's very important that you're here to learn how to trade, because like anything else, you got to learn before you could earn. All right. So looking forward to that. In the meantime, let's talk about what happened yesterday, last week. There was some good stocks that made some nice move. First of all, AI moved really nice. Let me bring up a 2-day chart on AI. Now AI, just to kind of give everybody a heads up, it makes this really big move early in the morning, and then for some reason it decides to reverse, which maybe I got to show it to you on the camera. The mouse pad, best times to trade, worst times to trade. So anyway, so that was basically what we had going on for that day. But AI has been got some really big support levels at the 20. It's hard to day trade, but it has been a very, very fun swing trade. So that was a really nice move for everybody here trading that stock. And not only is there the same word as SAI, but there was SI. So SI is going back on the watch list. That was really, really nice stock. Once again, another bank stock, Seagate Capital. This stock took a very nice little run up, and then in the middle of the day kind of backed off. Look at that. What a great run up. That thing ran from $1 to $2. That's literally almost 100% on one day. And even if you chased it and showed up late at 11 o'clock, you still could have made yourself a nice little 40, 50 cents. So once again, don't discriminate against inexpensive stocks. It's all about making money. Anyway, it's the second biggest percentage gainer on this today. You can see on the New York Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange stock. And basically it's right there. So we're going to trade that stock, put that on the watch list. So that one's moving pretty good. Square got crushed, okay? But it started making a little bit of a comeback. It started making a little bit of comeback right now, but you can see the stock here in the long-term chart. This stock took a very, very big hit right here. It went from like 76 all the way down to 55, made a nice comeback. Now, remember, this is not a pharmaceutical stock. These stocks do come back, so it's not your typical pharmaceutical stock when they don't come back. So that one moved up pretty nicely. And then you had the Square, so that moved pretty nice. Now regarding about what's moving on and what's going on for today, anyway, there's this stock. You could see First Citizen Bank shares is flying, okay? So this stock is it's almost at 1,000. It's still going. But you know what the story is. We're not trading this stock. We're not going to go out there. Listen, if you want to go trade it, buy one share, okay? But you can see this thing is just literally just flying. But what it does is that it's an industry. It's going to affect other stocks. So you want to keep an eye on the other ones out there. Anyway, this stock just opened up out of somewhere. I don't know what this thing just took off just now. Oh, it just came out. You can see that. BDRX. This is the thing. You got program trading. It kicks in at 9 a.m. Looks like an IPO, actually. But let me go bring up level. We're not going to probably see level 4 quotes. BDRX. Let's go check it out. I only got one bar here. Yeah, you can see it right here. It just opened. Little 4,000 share buyer out here. Really, really big move. The stock's going to be pretty volatile today. We'll put it on the watch list. I would be really careful of it, though. Now, a couple other stocks that we look down that list. Now, the third biggest percentage gainer. The stock looks like a buyout over the weekend. This stock is not really going anywhere. It trades 70,000 shares, very spotty. You know, when we see a chart like that, we kind of want to stay away from it. BXRX stock got destroyed. Okay, obviously looks like more like a reverse stock split more than anything. But she's up 17%, 1.2 million shares. It's a cheap stock. It's not really something that I think it's something that everyone could afford to trade. If you're one of the deer in the headlights and you still like a little nervous jumping into stocks, that looks like it'd probably be up your alley. Everything else, I didn't see anything else that I liked. Now, this is a typical Monday. This stock is also not bad too. It had a really good move on Monday, on Friday, and she's obviously trading higher. That's usually a good sign. That's usually a good sign, especially, you know, a stock was a $25 stock. It's got to get past this resistance levels right around here, 325. It's almost there. It looks like it hit it and it came right back down. So ONCS, we're going to put that on our watch list. Not a bad looking stock. All right, losers. Oh, that's right. PCAW, another bank stock that's on the watch list. A lot of those stocks that got really beat up because of what happened with Silicon Valley, they're all moving up pretty nicely. So PACW is moving pretty well. And most of them actually were on the New York Stock Exchange. You could see Key Bank is moving pretty well too. So Key's on the watch list. You can see I had a really good move on Friday. That was another stock that we traded, gapped up pretty nicely due to the buyout over the weekend. So there are a lot of stocks that are moving here. Here's a bank sector. It's also making a little bit of a comeback too. Wall is making a little bit of a comeback too. Wall's a little bit more. We've been trading stock for a while. Wall got to be a little careful of. It's pretty volatile when it comes to it. So Wall's moving up pretty decently. You know, it's so funny that, and for everyone here, you traders in here know this, you know, I hear these stories from all these analysts and they all think like, oh, be careful. There's going to be like, good morning to you, Cheryl, on Facebook. Anyway, you always hear these people always talking about like, this company's going out of business. It's going to, you know, it's the end of the world and so on. But you know what? Being a trader, a day trader specifically, and you hear all these people, they, you know, that are very excited. Like somebody told me Bitcoin, I was listening to an analyst on TV with this whole thing that's going on at the banks. Oh, now Bitcoin is going to probably go into six figures in the next 2-3 years. You know what? That's great. You know what I mean? But like, I hear this all day long. And sometimes, you know, they're just trying to push their own agenda. But there's nothing better when you actually watch what happens over the course of the day. And I hear people like, oh, it's the end of the world and the other bank's going to crash. You know what? Guess what? We're going to be the first ones to see it. Okay, we'll be the first ones to see it if it does get affected. But you could see they're all making a little bit of comebacks. But we said over and over and over again, don't trust anyone. All right, other than you're in control of your own money. That's why we do what we do. Take the money and run. If Wall goes back, you know, up to 75, God bless it. Okay. But we saw how that stock traded. We saw how Key traded. Okay. We saw how volatile they get. We saw SI. Okay. I mean, I owned SI. I thought it was a good buy at 250. My God, look, it dropped down. It was all the way down to $1. Down to $1. Yeah, Cheryl, especially banks. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to be really careful of. So just always be careful what you hear. And remember, we capitalize it. We capitalize on it. Now, just one last thing I just want to point out before we get back into our trading room. You know, listen, I thoughts and prayers to everyone out in Mississippi. Those, you know, listen, you hear about all this stuff that's going on. You know, those tornadoes. My God, I mean, it's just devastating. And if anyone knows there, just let them. You know, like I said, we all pray for them. Now, with that said, just keep in mind, there was a lot of catastrophe was done there. Keep an eye on some of the other like Home Depots and Lowe's because people need to rebuild. You might get some good buys on some of these stocks that might come back and start pushing up regarding about what happened. You know, hurricanes, whatever. These are like the first things that people go after, you know, because obviously, you know, I was involved in the Hurricane Sandy. You know, Generac benefited from that. You know, Home Depot benefited from that. So keep an eye on some of these, you know, home improvement stores because obviously people need to fix stuff. All right. So I just want to keep an eye on that. And remember, you want to know how to day trade. You want to swing trade or options trade. You got to know what happens over the course of the day. And unfortunately, some of these catastrophes make opportunities for us. Remember, the bank that went down, that was a huge catastrophe. We make an opportunity. And I will always use the metaphor of, listen, a lot of us want to own houses, right? We bought houses. When you hear about a foreclosure, you're like, oh, it's in foreclosure? Yeah. Little do you know what, did you realize who you're buying it from? What happened to that person? So, their catastrophe is your opportunity. So remember, whatever happens in the world, what happens in trading, whatever it is, this is why we do what we do. All right. Because if you can't handle it, then you shouldn't be trading. That's what I always say. Listen, you got class today. If everybody wants to get in it, you know where to find it. Anyone on social media in the top left-hand corner. Actually, I'll even bring up a bigger one right here. Join for free. Oops. Yeah, right there. There's a big banner right there. Just click on it and with your phone and be happy to come and join us. And we'll see you in the trading room if you want to see what we're going to be doing all day long. All right. So listen, let's close out the month. When we get to around Thursday and Friday, things might slow down a little bit. We don't want to ruin a good month. We like to, start fresh. This is how traders think. So don't get too cocky. But like I said, the end of the month ends on Friday for the first time in a long time. So better than ending on a Tuesday or a Monday, So let's go. Let's try that. Let's got to end the month out strong. All right, guys. Good luck today. Happy trading. And we'll start commentary once the market opens up at 9:30. And then, like I said, we'll be back here at 2:30 in the afternoon to trade the afternoon hours. And like I said, if you want to join us, just click on that little banner right there. We'll see you in the room. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading. Be safe.